How you doing, buddy? We are live. Can everybody see my screen there?
Yes.
The Appwizard Studio screen. Awesome. Let me get out of YouTube so I don't burn up all the bandwidth. And okay, first and foremost, welcome to our Wednesday night training. We have David Schooley with us tonight, who I'm going to turn over the floor here in just a moment as soon as we get out the housekeeping out of the way. It's a pleasure once again to have everybody here. I hope everyone had a great holiday as we took off last Wednesday night, so everybody could celebrate the holidays together. Don't know when Christmas is going to fall, but Christmas week will be off also. And I think January 1st is around the first part of the week. So we should have training around January the 1st, that Wednesday. But Christmas will definitely be off, and then probably not off again till 4th of July. So the holidays are here. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves, and everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Real quick, I hope everybody can see my screen moving. If you have not joined our Appwizard Studio group, go to facebook.com/groups/AWS Mastermind. And also, if you have not joined our YouTube channel, join our YouTube channel at Appwizard Studio. Just look for the little icon, type in Appwizard Studio, and you will get our YouTube channel. Real quick disclaimer, Appwizard Studio, nor I or David Schooley cannot guarantee just because you're watching training, you will make any sales, create any traffic, or increase your income. Every person is different, has different work ethics and different desires. And with that said, I am going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to turn it over to David. And let me just tell you how the format we're going to go through tonight. David's going to speak. He's going to talk about the program. He's going to talk about the issues. He's going to share with you everything that's going on with their company, everything that's happened in the past. He's going to share all that information with you. He's going to share with you the new features that are coming out, everything that's happening. And then at the end of the training, we're going to save back about 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to keep it right at an hour. David has other commitments. We're going to keep it right at an hour. And we're going to give you guys time to answer your questions. If you will, there is a Q&A box. And go to the Q&A box, if you would. Okay. And if you type in your questions now, if you type them in the box, in the chat box, they go by extremely quick and we miss questions. If you go into the question and answer box, then I can go in and I can see those and I can delete them as we answer the questions. So for tonight's format, usually the chat box is fine. As we learned from the first time with David, questions were flying from the minute that everything started. So use the Q&A box, and we should get everything done just on time. So, David, I am going to remove myself from the screen, and I'll stop share, and you should be able to pick up the share now.
All right, fair enough. So, first and foremost, hello everybody. How you doing? I realize I'm looking at some of the names floating by on the participants here. I've spoken to many of you recently. I've spoken to many of you today. I want to start everything off with just a really big, let's punch that elephant in the room and say, hey, you know what? This has not happened as quickly, and it hasn't happened as smoothly as we all had hoped. And I'm all too happy to take full responsibility here and fall on the sword and let you guys know basically what's been going on. I'm not a guy who believes in excuses, but I do believe in explanations and understanding of what the scenarios are of things in all circumstances. So I do want to tell you some really exciting things that have been happening, but unfortunately, they've hindered some of my timing in terms of getting back to people and addressing some of the needs that were happening really quickly, I might add, over these last couple of weeks because of the fact that we're all getting going, we're all excited, and everything is happening all at once. So real quick, just to touch on that. So obviously, We're a young company. We're growing like mad, and we're doing some really cool things. One thing that you guys are aware of is that we have a new software that we just launched, and I made the decision along with my partners a few weeks back when we were talking to you guys to not send out units that had the old software on it, and rather hold things up a little bit and send out the units that have the new software on it. There's very good reason for that, of course. Our new software not only is absolutely amazing in everything that it can do, but it's very stable and very solid. And I didn't want to train you guys once and then have to train you again and run you through any potential issues on the old software, whereas we've eliminated those issues on the new software, and so on and so forth. So with that being said, we quickly realized that we are shipping these with new software, but didn't have all the training, support, and videos and things like that I had for the old software. I didn't have all that ready for you guys. So I've been scrambling to do that. And of course, at the same time, go figure, I was on a whirlwind travel schedule, doing several back-to-back trade shows. I had some very, very great trade shows in Las Vegas, and even some around the globe. I went to Dublin, Ireland. I went to Paris, France, and all of it for work, guys. This was not a leisurely trip. This was all 20-hour days at trade shows. But I will tell you this, for the project and for our capabilities and our hardware and our software and everything, it was just phenomenal. We are now launching in, 6+ countries and more, literally by the day right now. People are absolutely loving what we have. So, in the last 4 to 6 weeks, there's just been a whole lot going on. So my apologies sincerely on it taking a little while to get back to you guys and make sure everything is going smooth. I am back here in the States, and as many of you know, if you've talked to me over the last few days, I'm looking to make this as beautiful and seamless as possible for you guys. So with that being said, I want to jump into a couple of quick things. I have sent you guys an email that basically gives you access to your back office, as well as access to some tutorials. And what I've done over the past couple of days is kind of consolidated all that. And I want to show you some of what we've done here. We had promised earlier on that we were going to create a Appwiz portal to the website, and I'm happy to say that is done and ready for you guys right now. And I'll be sending access to this as we speak. By tomorrow, you guys will all be able to get into this. It is only password protected because this is specifically for Appwiz partners, only for you guys. So, and I don't want to put it on this webinar because, this can be seen by many, but I will, every one of you on our list that have already participated, you'll be getting this password very shortly. And what it does is it gets you into this page here, which has a breakdown of a lot of the things that we've been talking about in terms of your needs, what you guys need, what you guys will want to use moving forward. As you can see, this is specifically for Appwizard people. I want to go through this just a little bit at a time. So the information and assets that you see here are strictly for Appwizard partners. Purchase samples or purchase for customers, you want to log in first. I'll explain that in a minute because we're basically creating logins for each and every one of you to the main website, in addition to your logins to your content management system. Now, just to keep it straight here, your content management system is for managing all of your hubs and the artwork and playlists that go to those hubs. This will be specifically for placing orders for yourself, placing orders for samples, placing orders for your customers. So we've got all of the specifics of this worked out. And when you're logged in as your user, you guys are set to a wholesale scenario so that you guys are actually going to get the wholesale prices on things, and you'll be afforded all the discounts and everything right out of the gate so that you don't have to worry about pricing and all that. It'll be done for you. So let's jump into what all this does here. I've got several sections to just this one main page here. The first section here is about advertising templates. Guys, we've talked about this for a little bit in terms of providing you guys some templates. I made some really cool ones for you. We've got these two different versions right here. We'll come up with more and more. But the cool part is all of this is a layered Photoshop document where the name and the call to action is left blank for you guys to do what you want to. And right here, you can download that zip file that contains both the JPEGs and the layered PSD files. Now, for those of you who don't get really deep into Photoshop, I actually found a really cool site called Photopea right here that is a free version of Photoshop online. You don't even have to download an application. You can do it all right there online. And you can even upload your layered PSD to it to work on it and do whatever edits you want, do whatever changes you want, save it as a JPEG or save it as an edited layered PSD, and you're good to go. So it's really, really beautiful in terms of how to work with it. And if you're working from my templates, then it will always be the exact size that it needs to be. All you need to do is do whatever edits that you want to it, and then save as a JPEG, and you are good to go. So let me see. I'm not sure if I can pull up. I would like to pull up Photoshop and show that to you guys. I'm not sure if, let me see while I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, I can change screens here. So I'm going to share this screen really quick. So this screen is my Photoshop. So when I'm working in Photoshop, you see that I've got all sorts of things going on over here to the side. These are my layers, right? And so I've got it set up to where this artwork is ready for you. And then I've got layers with the, call today, ask for Joe, ask for Mary, ask for Bobby, Sue, whoever. And then, of course, you can change your phone number. You can put a text call to action in here. You can do whatever you want to with this. These are for you to edit. And if you really wanted to, if you wanted to get deeper into it, I've even saved the entire folder of all the elements in here so that you can even move around and play with the entire design if you so choose. And I did that with both of these designs here. So you guys can play with these and do what you will in terms of editing. All these images are owned by us, so you can do what you want to with them, and we won't have any issues with distributing them in any way we so choose. So I know I'm barely touching on this, but I don't want this to turn into a graphic graphic conversation. I just really wanted to keep touch on this and let you guys know what's going on in that case. Let me go back to my screen share and go back to let's see, go back to my other window. Bear with me one second. Oh, I think I closed it over here. I think that's why it did that. Okay, so one second, guys. Here we go. Firefox window, and there we go. So this is where you'll get those templates, and we'll keep adding to those. Now, go down a little bit further. This is the same video that was on that other page that I had sent you guys in your introductory information. This is a basic walkthrough of the back office. We of course won't go through all this right now, but this will show you what you need in terms of how to walk through that basic back office. Now we come down here to this next section of forms and documents, and this is one that I've been asked about several times now as well. The placement agreement. So you can click here to download that placement agreement, and there's a basic instruction on what you want to do with that placement agreement. You want to get each place. Question here: will the templates work in Canva? Yes. If it can't read the layered PSD documents, guys, if you're working with a program that can't read the layered PSDs, I also saved a flat version of it without the phone numbers and contact information, so that you can simply bring it into any program you want and drop your text right over it. So you should be good. Moving right along. So this right here, placement agreements, download those. This is an actionable form. Basically what that means, I'll go ahead and click on that really quick so that I can show you what this is. So this is a form right here that basically talks about the placement of the hubs. You want to make sure to put in, of course, your name, because you're the one placing it here, you know, the date, and then the name of the company that that you're doing the install for. And then over here, where you've got, it asks for the charging, how many charging hubs, how many charging carts. And then down here, you want to be sure to identify how many slides that you're assigning to that venue. And then you just want to get their basic information. One very important thing, the Wi-Fi name and Wi-Fi password. That's quite important, because that's how our guys are able to, in the warehouse, set up the units to work automatically with the system, their Wi-Fi system, as soon as they pull them out of the box, so that they don't have to go through the trouble of, you know, logging into each and every hub and changing the Wi-Fi access. So these are things that you'll want to make sure you're getting. And when I say this is an actionable form, it means that if you're on the computer, or if you're on a tablet or iPad or whatever, you can actually fill this form out right there in the form, and then save it, and you're good to go. If you choose to print it and do it that way, that's perfectly fine too. Just keep in mind, you're going to need to either photograph or scan them when you place the order, because we're going to need a copy of that to fulfill that order. So again, just touching on some of these things. Advertising. So this section right here is advertising. This is the advertising insertion form. I told you guys early on I was going to go ahead and include a template for you guys to use. This is actually the template that we use for our advertising bookings. So we just stripped out our name from it, and you can put in your name in there and use it for booking the advertising that you're going to control. So go ahead and, you know, when you want, click on that one and download and get that. It is in a Word doc form, so you can edit it very easily. But right above that here, I've got a nice little video. It's about 3 minutes of me basically, you know, cheesy me, of course, explaining all the benefits of advertising. So if you're a little bit unsure of all the benefits, and if you want to really hone in your pitching skills for when you're talking to an advertiser, I highly recommend watching this video a couple of times. That is 3 minutes and 20 seconds of solid benefits, guys. I packed in everything I could think of to give you guys the rundown. And if you so choose, you know, you're all too welcome to show people this video. You could just pop it full screen and show it to somebody if you want, you know, to say, hey, look, here's, you know, one of the founders of the company that made the hardware talking about the advertising benefits. And by all means, go ahead and use that. It should definitely come to a benefit for everybody, I hope. So let me scroll down here a little bit further. Now, one of the things that was emailed to you guys, either in the body of the email or within the link where you went to watch some of the video, what is also this section called Hub Access. If you guys have your hubs, you'll want to check this out. We made this cool little animated GIF here showing exactly how to get into the hubs. Basically, you're swiping from right to left on the top and left to right on the bottom at the same time, from full edge to full edge. And then that password box pops up. and you touch on that password box and then input your PIN number. Now, you were all given a PIN number. That PIN number is appropriate to the channel of graphics that you have being pushed to that hub. Right now, it's just a sample hub, but down the line, when you're bringing on a new customer, that customer may have 12 hubs, they may have 24 hubs, they may have 100 hubs, and you may have one channel going to all of the hubs, or you may have it separated out and have a channel going to the hubs that are in the bar and the hubs that are in the main room, or whatever the case may be. So the PIN number is always appropriate to the channel that you've assigned that hub to. So, and this right here is just a breakdown of, you know, what you do once you get into that system in order to change the Wi-Fi settings. You know, you can click on that gearbox, go to the Wi-Fi settings and change it. It's the same as everybody's phones. It should be fairly easy. And then if you wanted to actually change the channel to configure it to a different channel, you can do that with these instructions here. So I don't want to go too crazy into this. I just wanted to do the highlights of it. Guys, my goal here is to make this as smooth as possible for you guys. Even though this beginning has been a little bit rocky, we're going to keep developing systems and SOPs and templates and anything needed for you guys to be successful with this. So real quick, let's jump into you know, why I'm saying to log in to see prices or to purchase your stuff. Right now, when you're in there, you're not logged in yet, but I want to go to the front of the site here really quick to show you before being logged in, just so that you can see the differences. So let's say you're looking at the front page of the site that has some of these products, and you see the pricing. You may see the main retail and then whatever discounts we may be running at that moment, right? But once you've logged in, I want to show you what the difference is here. So I went ahead and created a sample login here so that we can log in. And now that we're logged in, if we go back to look at those same prices and those same products, you're actually going to see something totally different now. Now you're going to see those main prices, but you're also going to see a wholesale price that nobody else gets, guys. This is for you guys only. So do not share these links. You use these to order your stuff, and then everything will work nice and smoothly from there. Let's walk through. Let's say you're signing up a client. You're going to build the network with them. So you're going to get the discounted lease program. Obviously, the difference between the discounted lease program for the average Joe and for you guys is that you guys are actually going to be in control of the 10 slides to decide how many the venue gets and how many you guys control, while one stone is retaining the others. So let's say you get in here and you go to 10 pack, or let's say a 12 pack, right? And you go ahead and state that you're going to sign up now. Now you've already logged in, so this is tracking your orders for you. So you're going to input your billing information, but the customer's shipping information when you get to this point, right? So we're going to go to view the cart, and in the cart you see that that it showed up just fine. I'm going to show you, if we go to proceed to checkout, there's going to be an extra thing here, which is right here. And this is the, do you have something to attach? Company PO, placement agreement, etc. Right? So this is where you would upload the placement agreement that you've got with your venue that's appropriate to this particular order. So we've got 4 spaces here. So if it's only a 2-pager, so if you printed it and took pictures, you'll upload those 2 photos. If you did it as the PDF, you'll upload the single one, and then you'll be fine. And then you go ahead and you finish out your order, and you go ahead and pay for it, and you're good to go. Now, when this is all said and done, you can actually go through to your account and you'll be able to keep track of your orders and subscriptions and all this good stuff, because this is going to be your account on our system. So we're setting you up hopefully to make everything nice and smooth with both the Appwiz page of assets and tools, as well as your own login with wholesale pricing, so that we can try to manage this ever so smooth. So I do want to jump. I know that I want to get through this as quick as I can, so I leave enough time for questions, guys. But I want to jump over and start talking about the actual content management system, because I know some of you have gotten in there and have started playing around and checking it out. And some of you are just barely getting started on that, mostly due to my delays. Once again, my apologies, guys. But I do want to spend some time on that. So let's click over to here. So this, if you have already done this, chances are you've seen this sort of a dashboard before. When you log into your back office, which is this address right up here, which was sent to all of you guys, you will be dropped right into your little dashboard here, and you've got a multitude of icons over here to the right. And I did a full walkthrough in that video, so I highly encourage you guys to watch the video. But I'm just going to touch on a few of the things that are key. We're going to go into the projects, and I've got a couple of projects going on in mine. I'm going to double click on this restaurant samples one that's going to take me into the campaign of that one, which I've called restaurant samples. You guys all have your own campaign already set up as well. And so you'll recognize this page, or a page that looks very much like this. Just to give you a quick explanation, it always helps to hear this. You know, the breakdown of a campaign is a couple things. It's the what, the when, and the where of your campaign, or of what you want to push to these hubs that comprises the campaign. So the what is this playlist, right? We're going to push this playlist to the campaign. The when is, you know, how long do we want to make this thing available? Well, let's say we want to make sure that this thing is live, or, you know, the entire campaign is live for quite some time. So we go ahead and, you know, push this out a nice distance and hit save. And now, you know, this is keeps trying to add an extra 0 here on me. I think I'm just impatient. This is working slow because it's also sharing it with you guys. So I basically just made the when of that campaign push out for quite some time, so that the entire campaign is running for a long time, right? The where is the channel that it's going to, which was already set up for you guys. So the channel that we set up for you is already set to the campaigns that you're running. Now, I'm going back to what. I'm in what right now, because this is really where you're going to spend the majority of your time. And there's some beautiful things about this. Everything here is click and draggable, so you can change the order of your images. If I wanted to actually go drag an image to the screen, I can simply open a window and drag it to the screen. Or if I want to add media this way and hit file upload, I can go grab any file that I'm interested in adding right now. And then, you know, we've got slides added in a matter of minutes. So let's say I want to add birthday club, and I want to add coffee loyalty. No, I already got coffee loyalty. Let's go ahead and do the social media one. And then we hit open, and then you can see down here in this corner, it's uploading, and you see it uploads fairly quickly, and boom, there we go. So now I've got these two new graphics in here. If I double click on that, it'll open a window that'll show me a high-res version of it, and I can click back and forth through all of them if I choose to, if I want to see them, you know, in a nicer res scenario. This zoning over here on to the right is really a very, very low res, fast, identification that you're using the entire zone. And when I say zone, I mean the entire workspace. We do have the ability with this software to create multiple zones. And I can get into that in a more in-depth training, but we can do some really cool things here. But one thing I do want to touch on really quick is, let's say this one right here that I just added, this buy one, get one free Java deal, is for a day that, a day of the week that is only on Tuesdays. I could come in here and actually schedule that one graphic to then change and update only every Tuesday. So now you see this little icon right here. It lets you know that there's conditional formatting on here based on when you want it to show. And let's say we're doing another program, and let's say this coffee loyalty program is a really great program, but it's not going to start for another 2 weeks, right? So I can click on this, and I can come in here and I can give it a start date of, let's say, December 1st through an end date of January 1st. And now I can set this up as a graphic that is in my playlist, but it won't engage until those times. And now all I need to do is upload this entire thing by hitting publish. I can approve it, right? But if you just hit publish, it approves it and publishes it at the same time. And now when I hit publish, it says down here in this bottom corner, the campaign was saved and published. And now my hubs will run this every day of the week, this every day of the week. It'll run the coffee loyalty program at the set times. It'll run the BOGO Java only during that Tuesdays of every week. And then it'll run the rest at all times. So there's some really cool stuff here to use, guys. They're just really a robust system that I want you guys to understand. We can do some really fun and engaging things with this. And by the way, we're only using images right now, but we can set up 10-second videos in here just as easily as images. So of course that requires, more creative work. But if you're working with a company that already has creative, or if they're willing to pay you to develop it, then that just opens up a whole new beautiful world. So I'm touching on a lot of different things, but I just wanted to do that here really quick so that I can give you guys just a brief, overview of what we have for you, how we've got it set up, and hey, we're really looking to make this work beautifully for you guys and give you all the tools that you need here. In the speaking and all that good stuff. I believe we're past that. We've got our onboarding system all set up for you guys now. We've got these logins ready for you. So we're going to hit the ground running as fast as you guys want to run now. So with that being said, I want to open this up to some questions, guys. I see Duke had a question of, can a customer buy and rent? I'm guessing, well, let me just answer it from both perspectives, buy and or rent, right? So can they buy? Absolutely. And we've given you guys wholesale pricing. So if you want to sell them to them and you want to make some money in between and they want to control all that content on their own, there's no reason not to play with people wherever they want to play. And the truth of the matter is, not every restaurant is going to want to give us ad space in their restaurant or venue. I'm saying restaurant, but it's really all venues, right? So yes, of course they can buy them. As far as rent them, that is a really great thing that I've personally done. The company has done, where we will do a daily rental to events. So you absolutely have the ability to do that. Now, in that case, you're going to need to have some either you're going to need to have some inventory of your own to rent them, and you can play the margins to your benefit, or if you want to simply rent them on a day rental system from us and then mark it up, we have that program going now too. And if you're interested in that, guys, shoot me an email and say, hey, I'd like to know more about the rental program, because we are just barely getting that website done. It is not done yet, but we do already have the pricing structure worked out, and we've done it successfully with many events. So hopefully I answered your question properly there, Duke. Let's look at what Ken has to say. Can you disable the ability for someone to play with the hub and or use the browser and log into the internet? Yes. In fact, that's the whole point of this right here. So the reason we have the hubs locked down to where they can't get past this password is because of that. We don't want them getting into the back office. We do not want to give the access or the PIN numbers to the public. We want them only seeing the advertising that the venue and that we set up for them. So yeah, absolutely. So let's see. I'm trying to see if there's some other questions here. Show the training that's available in the back office. So yeah, the training that's available. There's 2 trainings that I have now on this one page. I've consolidated some of the information that I have given you guys. I'm going to go ahead and go to the page that I had given you guys. Let me change my screen here really quick to see if I can show you the email that so many of you got an email that looks something like this, right? That it basically has your login, it has your link, it has your password and your PIN number, and then this right here, which is the link to the training that we had set up with the video. And in that training, the page is very similar to the one that I'm showing you right now. What I did is I consolidated not only the information that is on this page, but some information and some templates that are very specific to the Appwizard group. I really wanted to make you guys have a more engaged experience when it comes to one centralized place for all of the assets that you need. So this right here is where you would find that now, and that is a very simple link. It's basically onestonehub.com/appwiz. And of course, that is locked down with a password. Guys, for sake of the fact that this is on a YouTube video, I'm not going to talk about the password on this, but I will gladly send it to you guys shortly after this, so that you guys can get going. And in fact, I will have amazing stuff for you guys on a regular basis in terms of sharing artwork, sharing things that work for other restaurants. We've got some really, really cool stuff that will help you in terms of sales tools. I've got more assets that I'm going to keep pumping onto this page for you guys to grab anytime you need. So let's see. See if there's some more. Does each account we order have its own channel? Yes, great question. So yeah, let me break this up. I'm jumping back to the platform again, the content management system, to explain basically how this works. Think about it as there's projects, campaigns, and so when I'm in David Onestone here, I'm in my campaign. Or excuse me, I'm in my project. But here I've got different campaigns, right? And each campaign has its own channel. So you'll see this right here as a channel. So when we set up a new account for a new customer, I would go in and I would set up I would set up a new channel for them. So let's say we're working with restaurant B, right? So there's a really great restaurant named Restaurant B. And so now the system auto-generated this PIN number, and that's that PIN number that associates this restaurant now with, or associates all the hubs in this restaurant with this restaurant, right? So that's incredibly important when we go in now and make the playlist and the campaign, because now when I make a campaign, so I'm going to make a campaign for restaurant B hubs, right? And so I go ahead and I make that campaign. And when I do that now, the what, where, and when is really important, right? Because the where, I have to tell the system where I want that playlist to go. And I just made it go to Restaurant B channel. So everything in that channel now is going to go to Restaurant B, or everything in this playlist that I make now will go to Restaurant B channel. So now when I go to add my media to this, whatever media I add will be ready to rock and roll here with that channel only. And of course, all these graphics that I'm uploading are now very specific to all the hubs that are associated with that channel. I hope that makes sense, guys. This is the system can be complex, but really, truly, it's the simplest way to manage all of this stuff, because at the end of the day, we can do some very, very amazing things with these, and we control that by campaigns being pushed to a channel, and that channel can be 1 hub, 5 hubs, 20 hubs, 50 hubs, all of them in whatever location. So when you're setting up a new location, they'll get a login, and they'll be able to control the artwork. You'll have a login, so you can control artwork, and then of course, I've got a master login for our company. But for you guys can control how you want to work with your restaurants. If you want to control the artwork and just have them email you artwork rather than giving them direct access to uploading their own, you could do that, but realize that could be a bottleneck. But then again, you might be selling them design services, and they may be coming to you for all of it anyway. So, that's up to you and how you do it. So, it's a scenario of, you've got the ball in your court on how you want to work this. You just communicate with us on how you want it set up, and we'll set it up that way. So let me look at some of these other questions. Duke, great question. If there's technical problems with the hub, how do we resolve them? If there are problems with the hub, which, bottom line is it's technology. It's actually very complex technology. It's, 40,000 milliamps of the best next generation lithium ion power you can get. On top of that, you've got a processor running multiple screens with all kinds of technical things. So can things go wrong? Will things go wrong? Yes, absolutely. It's not very common. We actually have worked out, 99% of the bugs. We have been through the ringer, as all technical companies have with tech problems. But here's the basic thing. If it's a manufacturer issue, meaning if it's, something technical going wrong with it, as opposed to, somebody spiking it because their favorite football team just made a touchdown and damaging it. Obviously, we will take care of that. The process on that would be to let us know that there's an issue, let us know what hub it is, where it's at. That way we can send out a new one with a return address, so that we can get that damaged one back and figure out what the problem is on our own. But if it's a manufacturer error or malfunction or something to that effect, we absolutely take care of that. But on the same token, if there's damage and if there's a problem with it, even that was their fault or a customer's fault or whatever, same process applies. Let us know. We'll ship out another one and replace it while we're looking to see what it takes to fix the one that we have. Can you see me add a 10-second video, someone says? Yes, absolutely. In fact, adding the video is no different than adding the images. I just got to look for my video. I just try to remember where I have it. I'm going to do a search here real quick. So let's see. There's a video. Here's a lower 2/3 video. I have one that I actually set up specifically for this on this desktop. So let me see if I can find it here. Here we go, full display, M4V. That would be it. And we open. You can see down here, it's loading. I'm down in the bottom right-hand corner. If I were to click on that, it'll actually open and show you the loading while it's happening. So if you upload a bunch of stuff at the same time and you want to actually see the queue of them uploading, you absolutely can do that. Or you can just see that it's happening down here in the right-hand corner, and it shows you the progress while it's doing it. As far as the upload, there it is. It's right there. So it doesn't view it right here in this, but you can, of course, you know, once you push it, it views very well. As far as the file format, we do recommend M4V. It's a nice file size. If you're familiar with video, there's multiple codecs out there. M4V is a very common one. So I will, in fact, now since you guys are bringing this up, I will in this section, I will actually add a section about video here, and I've even got some free tools that I can point you guys to. There's a really great free tool called Handbrake that allows you to take any format video, drop it in there, and then it'll spit out a optimized version, and it just happens to be the perfect version for our software, so it's really kind of cool. So let me see. Trying to see the questions here. Do you bill me for the hub orders and then I collect payments from the venues? Yes, you pay for them when you pick them up. I mean, part of the deal that we worked out here for the Appwizard Studios group is that you guys are able to play margins. So you guys are able to either pass the cost along to your customer or take on that cost in exchange for the fact that you're building an ad network. That's up to you. But as far as when the order is placed, it'll be placed with you, through you. And so you're paying for it when you're ordering it. To jump right into the next question that Duke has on the delivery time. So typically we're looking at a 5 to 7 working day window of preparing hubs for venues. Because we need to make sure that we've got the right Wi-Fi information we actually turn on every one of them, upload them with some artwork after they've been assigned to the current Wi-Fi that should match what the restaurant is. We do all that prior to sending it out. So we've got about a 5 to 7 day turnaround on most orders. And when I say most orders, I'm talking, anywhere from a half a dozen, hubs to say 60 hubs, which is, our average restaurants are in the 12, 24 to 48, scenario. If it's a larger order and we're talking hundreds, you'll want to check with us on that because we'll typically want to spread that out over a few extra days rather than hold up process of some of the smaller orders that we've got coming at the same time. We're rarely, if ever, held up with inventory. We always keep a good amount of inventory in stock. The holdups for us guys in this beginning was truly me. It was me wanting to get things set up right for you guys, but being on the road and having a little too much on my plate at the same time held things up. So, but you know, in terms of getting things out to venues, getting things out, setting up on the regular day to day, we're pretty on point in that 5 to 7 day mark. When a restaurant buys, do they get access? Do they get access to the back office, or do they? Okay, good question. So that is completely up to you guys. We can either give them access to the back office to control their 4 or 5 slides or however many you're allotting for them, or you charge them a management fee and you take care of it. It is completely up to you, Larnell. Do it the way you like. The demo hub capacity. Of the one-sided, it depends on which one you order. I'm sorry. Let me explain. I don't know if everybody can read the questions or not. Duke is asking, demo hub capacity is 20,800. The advertised model is over 40,000. So no, actually both of them are advertised and both of them are available. If you guys want the 40,000, it's 40,200 milliamps of power is the one that we do in all of our leases. That is the best model that we have. It's really phenomenal. I honestly recommend to everybody to only use that. I mean, that's the one that we want to use. We want to make sure we have a overabundance of power so that it's not losing power throughout the day. Even if a multitude of people are charging from it, we want it to be an overkill and do the job. Now, the 20,800 one, that's a choice that you guys can make. If that's the one that you guys like, the single-sided ones quite often are the 20,000 milliamp versus the dual-sided. We carry normally. You can get the 20,000 milliamp dual-sided if you want, but we would have to special order it because we simply don't. We don't go through that many of them. The primary model that we run is the dual screen 40,000 milliamp Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure if I caught all of them. I'm going to scroll through and look and see if I caught all the questions. You guys tell me. Let's see here.
Some over there. There's some over there in the chat side.
Let me pull that up.
Paul says, I did not get an email with my username or password.
Paul. Okay. So Paul, I can tell you that there was one sent. So there's got to be a problem with the email and believe me, it could be your email or mine. I ran into a problem earlier today with another one of the gentlemen where for some reason his cox.net email address would not get my emails, but his Gmail got it just fine. So Paul, I'll be happy to resend. And if you guys want, I'm going to put this here. If those of you that don't have it already, my email address is right there, guys. I just put it in the chat. It's david@onestonehub.com. If you guys have any questions for me, shoot that to me. If you didn't get my email, maybe shoot me an email right now first, and I'll try replying to that to see if there was an email problem. But I'll be happy to get that to you, Paul. Yes, agreed. If you didn't get it, please check your spam folder. You never know what's flagged these days. I tend to use, I've been in marketing so long, guys. When I type, I tend to use uppercase letters, at the beginning of every word. Sometimes when I'm trying to put a little bit of emphasis on something, and a lot of spam filters see that as marketing speak. And so it's highly possible that they mark my email as spam. Who knows? Swipe did not work. Okay, great. I'm glad that you brought that up. I don't mean great that it didn't work, Jacques. I mean great that you're bringing it up, because I will tell you that within our software, it's kind of built in to detect if someone's trying to screw with it or someone's trying to mess with it a little bit. So if you've tried it multiple times in a row and the swipe is not working, Honestly, the answer is patience. What it is it's going to wait. It's going to give a 10 to 12 second window before it wants to see you try again. Otherwise, it's just going to not let you in. It's just going to keep sitting there. Now, with that being said, I will say that there are times that I've had to do it a few times and I just couldn't get the hang of it. You may want to play with a couple of different scenarios. One way to short circuit that waiting time, guys, the button on the bottom that turns it on and off, it also works as a sleep. So if you just touch the button on the bottom, it'll put it to sleep, and then touch it again and it'll wake it up. So if you've tried the swipe a few times and it doesn't work, you can touch that button on the bottom, turn it off for a second or two, or not off, but turn it to sleep, and then turn it back on, and then try that swipe again. And when you're trying that swipe, some people I've noticed they're better doing it with their thumbs. Some people are better doing it with their index fingers, but just make sure that at the same time you're swiping from left to right at the top, right to left at the bottom, and it should work. I have also at times flipped it around and done it on from edge to edge, Kenny. I have sometimes flipped it around and used the other side of the screen too. One thing to also note, guys, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but because both screens are touchscreen and because both of them are engaged at the same time, it's very easy to forget that the back side is engaging too. And if you have your hand sitting on top of it, or if you're holding it from behind and you're touching that back screen, you're actually screwing around with the engagement that you're doing on the front screen. So set it down in front of you and try and do it without touching the back side, or, just get to a comfortable position where you can do it with, with both of them. And by the way, guys, the reason that swipe movement was made the way it was made is because the last thing we want is people trying to mess with getting into the back office, just as one of you guys mentioned earlier tonight. We don't want people messing around with these as Android tablets. We want them doing their job and people not being able to get to it. So that swipe pattern is one that you will not find anyone ever doing for any reason in any game or in anything other than getting into our back office. So we made it a little bit difficult for a reason, but it definitely does work, and it works well. And if you tried it a couple times and it's not working, take a breath for a second, let it sit, and then try it again. It will work.
Any other questions?
Ken says, my sample did not require a swipe to boot up. So that's because it was just booting up straight out of the box. Once you start the content management system from that point forward, it will definitely require a swipe to get back in. Is the swipe only on the dual-sided? No, the swipe is on all units. Every single one of the units that are Wi-Fi require a swipe to get in. All right, I think we covered all the questions, right?
All right. David, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. You guys have his email. I know he's been contacting you and catching up now that he's back in town. If you have any questions, just shoot David an email and he will reply. Also know that he's in the field. He does the same thing you guys do, and they're running a company and they're making things happen. Amazing system, guys. I mean, this is going to be the hot new technology, and we all know that. And I know that's why everybody's so excited to get their stuff and get the platform and get everything working. And, sometimes great things come to those that wait. So, and I truly believe in my heart that this is one of those great things. Are you going to get a digital table tent that doesn't work? Absolutely. It's going to happen. I went to Walmart on Hot Friday or whatever the hell they call that. Okay. I bought a brand new computer, brought it home, plugged it in, and it didn't work. you know, and I took it back, and guess what? They were completely sold out of Hot Friday computers. So, you know, it's just, yeah, Black Friday. So, you know, it's just the way it works. So, but technology is technology, and these things ship from all over the world, and that's just,
Yep.
it happens. It happens.
And guys, I want to note one other thing. We are at the beginning of all this, guys. We are the forefront leaders on this, which means a couple of really great things. It means that we truly do own and run the manufacturing. So, you know, all these people that are getting out there trying to get around us, it's, if it is the exact same system as ours, it's not going to work because it came from our manufacturers. So it's us. But B, it also means that there are going to be other people coming up behind us. They're going to be knockoffs. There are going to be people trying to compete with us. But first to market is everything. And we are first to market, guys. And even though that meant that we had to go through some troubles and trials, and you know, we were the guinea pigs of getting all this done. The great news about you guys joining us when you are is that we've worked out 90% of those issues, and now it's time to run and run with us. You guys can, because there are some great markets out there for you guys. I know I talked to Jacques earlier today about, you know, the Bay Area, and you know, you guys all have your different areas that you're going to. There's virgin territory all over the place, guys, and you can dominate. You can so dominate, and I'm happy to help you do it.
I thank you, buddy. Man, I can't. I thank you enough for coming on board tonight and taking care of this. And you know what? This is what I'll say. And this is what I'm gonna close with. It takes an upstanding individual to come on a show like this and say, "Hey, we screwed up. We had problems. We had issues, but we're here to fix it." And I respect you for that. My hat's off to you, because most companies will run and hide. And One Stone did not do that. David didn't do that. He's here to answer all the questions. Is there still going to be a couple of hiccups? Probably. Okay. But it's going to be fixed, and you guys are going to have an amazing product to go out and sell. Everybody have a great evening. David, thanks again, my friend. Good night, and God bless.
All right. Same to you guys. Have a great evening. God bless.